Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here and be sure, Paul, I'll be sure to check the right boxes here. Okay, what happened here? There it goes. Okay, check this box and check that box down there and check that. And share my screen. Can everyone see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Well, how come
Yes.
I can't see anyone here?
You in full screen or something?
No, I'm going to go back here.
You may not be able to see us while sharing your screen, Dale. It
I
may
should-
our little
I
picture
should
down
be
the
able to see,
Who's talking, right? Or something?
yeah, I should be able to see it on the right-hand side here. Let me try this again here.
Hey Dale, try it without clicking that second box that says optimize for video clip. And just click the first box for
Okay.
sharing your sound. See if that works.
There you go. Okay, can you see my screen?
Yep.
Okay, and I can see you too. All right, that's what I wanted. See, Paul gave me some guidance here, and it was a bit flawed, but we got it straightened out. We got it straightened out. All right. Well, welcome everyone. We got a lot to cover tonight, so I want to get going here as soon as possible because things are booming for us, folks, and I think you'll see once we get through everything tonight. We got a lot of things cooking where we're getting applicants right and left. So that's a good, these are good problems to have. So like I said, we got a lot to cover tonight. So I want to get going here. Excuse me just a second. We got a couple more here coming in that I have to admit to the call here. So I think I got those two handled there. All right. Okay, so we'll start with what we normally cover here, and be sure, please, everyone mute yourself so we don't get any background noise, and you can, of course, unmute yourself when you have an opportunity to say something or want to contribute. But just a quick review, our vision statement for Indiana is in fact our national vision statement, which is to build a strong, engaged army of self-governing activists. So that's our vision statement. Our mission statement for Indiana, just a quick review here, is to restore self-governance by recruiting, training, and deploying citizen activists to engage in all levels of government. So this is our mission statement. If we realize the mission statement, brings us closer to realizing our vision statement. Our objectives for 2021, just very briefly here, is we want to grow the grassroots to 70,000 supporters, and got some good news for you tonight. We're off to a really good start. We want to get some young blood into the organization here. We want to get some people under the age of 30. We want to grow the region captains from 4 to 7. We want to grow our district captains from about 20 to 40. Got some good news for you on that particular item. We want to develop and implement a call to action program. Got some good news on that, and Paul's going to be covering that for us this evening. Develop and deliver education program. So we got some changes on how we're approaching that. We'll be mentioning that tonight. So we're starting to work on that for this year. So those are the objectives that we set forth in our strategy meeting. And so these are the things that we're going to strive to accomplish this year. Now, I want to take some time here to mention if you all recall, we were involved in a Telepatriot mission in Georgia, where we were the past states region, the 15 past states were in the past states region. We were all in the Telepatriot mission to make calls into Georgia, leading up to their, what was it, January 5th, was it election, a runoff election in Georgia. So I want to, Jonathan, in a couple meetings ago, gave us some final numbers on how we did in as far as making calls. And I want to pass this on to you that there were 15 states involved in the past states region, and Indiana finished number 2 in the region. And the first state was the state that finished first was Florida, and they were not too much further ahead of us. I think we made wasn't it 1,800 and plus change number of calls, I believe it was. So Indiana made a good showing. We finished number 2. Now, as far as individual performers are concerned, we also looked very good. Now, if you, for those of you, many of you may not have known this, but for those of you on the Telepatriot team, the Georgia mission team, we kind of we developed a bit of a contest, okay? And we came up with a Starbucks gift card for the person that would finish second as far as the number of calls. And we had another gift card for the person that finished first. Well, here are the results. Gary Harbaugh finished number 5. Now we're talking about the total region. We're not talking about just Indiana, the total past states region. Gary Harbaugh finished 5th. And we then were honored to have the number 1 caller in the whole region, number 1, Thomas Schultz. What a beast he was. I'll tell you, we couldn't believe the number of calls that guy was cranking out. Thomas, I know you're on here. I wanted you to come on, unmute yourself, and say a few words. Mr. Telepatriot.
Say a few words. Well, I can't say too much for somebody that was laying on his back when he was dialing.
So is that your secret?
Yeah.
I'll say, I think Thomas made almost 800 calls, if I remember right. And he was far and above the lead caller for this mission. So Thomas, good job, congratulations. Where are you? Where'd you go here? I don't see you. You still there?
I'm here.
You turn your camera off?
No, I believe it's still on.
Don came in, so he might have slid over a page on to see.
Yeah.
Hi, Don.
There he is. Well, listen, I wanted to tell you something though, folks, that when I called Thomas and I told him that he had won the contest, that he was the number 1 caller and that he had won this gift card that we had put forth for the person that made the most calls, he graciously told me to send the card to Rick Lyon, our events coordinator, so that he could use the card to purchase supplies for upcoming events. So it's too late, Thomas. I hope you haven't changed your mind on that. I've already sent the card to him. So thank you very much for that, Thomas. That is very nice of you. Very nice of you.
Okay.
Man of many words, man of many words. All right. Thanks again, Thomas. Number one. So Indiana really, really looks good on that Telepatriot mission. Okay. Next would be Jonathan, and Jonathan, I don't see you on here yet. He maybe has gotten tied up on another call.
Dale, Jonathan is in North Dakota. He had a last minute trip up there. There's a rescission effort
Yeah.
in the legislature there, and he's going to testify up there. So he's up there today.
Okay. All right. We'll let him slide on that then. Okay. All right. Got a couple things. If you recall now, we kind of changed the format of our state calls. I'm going to kind of lead off here with some things in kind of that I follow very closely. Then we're going to have George make some comments on some things, Gary, and then Paul. So that's kind of the format that we're doing here. Here's, if you recall, this is one of our tracking reports, the districts per region. Now, I've embellished this a little bit to kind of give you an idea of what's happening to us here so far in 2021. The red, obviously the red states here are the districts where we have an existing district captain or a district captain trainee. Now, keep in mind, I put this together, I think about 2 days ago. So these numbers have already changed, but I haven't updated this. So this is actually as of a day or so ago. So we're up to 18 district captains. That's existing district captains plus district captains that have been processed and that are in our training program now, starting their training. And as of a day or so ago, we had 7 district captain applicants that were still being processed. So once we get them processed, we're already up to about 25 district captains. If you remember, our goal for 2021 is to reach 40. So we're off to a great start here in January. So I wanted to, and those of course that are the district captains applicants that are in process are highlighted in yellow. And as you can see, they're kind of spread out. So, which is good that we're getting some more applicants in regions where we need applicants, where we need district captains. So wanted to share that with you. Now, another one that Tim Heidenreich puts this graph together for us every month, and this is the grassroots growth. And you can see, of course, we're starting out a new year, but he's given us some numbers here, how we've finished each of the previous years for the past few years. And of course, we finished 2020, we finished at 52,617. Well, as of January 27th, we got 1,534 new supporters in the month of January.
Wow.
And folks, that's a record. That's the highest number for 2020. And of course, so far in early here in 2021, that's a record number. And all indications are that that's going to continue. Now I can't imagine what might be causing this. I don't. Did anybody have any ideas as to what might be causing this? Maybe a new administration might have something to do with it, but
I guess we're just finally getting the word out, you know.
no, I think
Yes, I'd say a lot of it's due to the sudden censorship that people have suddenly seen just grow exponentially. That's usually the first sign of a dictatorship coming on.
Right.
Most of the country may be realizing that, oh, this may be worse than we thought.
Yes, I think you're definitely right, Dan. Um, and like I said, I believe this is, I think we're just seeing the beginning, folks, and I think we're gonna see many more come in. So wanted to share that news with you. Okay. Our broadcast, our COS Indiana Live, that we broadcast through Facebook right now. Got something I want to share with you tonight on that, but just to review, that's every Monday evening at 7 o'clock. And I encourage you, please, to if you're still in social media, to please share this with your friends so that we can get more viewers on to view our broadcast. We just had, just last Monday, we had Debbie Stewart on. I think Debbie's on tonight. I saw her on, she's on the call tonight. Our super volunteer that gave us another chapter in constitutional literacy. And I want to mention that Debbie is coming back in February, on February 15th. She's going to give us an overview of the 1776 report. If you're familiar with that, if you followed that, you know that the Biden administration has already, that was on the, what was it, government.gov.com website, the government website, and they've already taken it down. So, but it's still available through Heritage Foundation, through Hillsdale College, and I'm sure there's some other resources where it's still available. But
Dale, I posted a copy of it on our general channel on Slack, if anybody wants to grab it
okay,
there.
I missed that. When did you do that?
It's also on the government archive website.
Okay.
Yeah, I put it up on Slack last week,
Oh, well, I missed that. Okay.
so it's pretty recent.
All right. Well, anyway, Debbie's going to give us an overview on that, and we're going to use Debbie for 2021. We're still going to use her for constitutional literacy, but we're also going to have her give some segments on issues like this or other civics related topics. So you'll be sure you want to tune in when Debbie comes up. So February 1st, we got Gary Harbaugh is going to be the guest, and on February 8th, Paul Phillips will be the guest, and both of them will be talking about what they have planned for 2021. Now, I want to tell you about our broadcast from January 18th, and that is when I interviewed our district captain, Dan Stock. Dan, you want to unmute yourself? Dan's on tonight. And these are a few pictures of Dan's experience. Dan attended the Washington, D.C. rally on January 6th. And he came on the broadcast on January 18th and shared his experience. He even shared a picture of his wound that he incurred. So Dan, I want to tell you something here. These, you know, I have in Facebook, I have a way to track how many people we reach, how many people view the broadcast. Not only viewers at the time of the broadcast, but people that view the recording of the broadcast. We had 323 views of your broadcast. That is I've been doing this over 2 years now. That's the third highest broadcast as far as number of views are concerned. So you're a bit of a star, young man.
I think the topic may be the star more than me.
You think so?
Yeah, I think when people really know what happened, and I have two colleagues of mine who were there standing beside me who can vouch up for most of the stuff I said there, I'll bet. You begin to realize this was far from some revolution incited by some, disgruntled president. this was something that tried not to be a riot, but everybody there at the Capitol did everything they could to induce it into a riot. I hate to be a conspiracy theorist, but after I was, looking back at the other stuff I learned afterwards, this looked like they couldn't get a riot done on the outside, so they started one on the inside.
Well, I would encourage you all to look at the recording of that. Dan did a great job sharing his experience. We might mention that Larry Hudson was also with him. Am I right, Dan?
Yes.
And am I right that Donald, were you on with them, Don Lynn?
Yes, I was.
Okay, now Donald Lynn is a new district captain. He just came on. He just came on with us. So welcome, Donald. Well, I want to welcome you to our family here.
It's my pleasure.
And Donald, did you incur any wounds or anything while at the rally?
Well, not really. My jacket was the only casualty. I had a paintball and mark on the back of my, because they were shooting paintballs, and Dan got his wound by a concussion grenade.
Right.
Which I hadn't realized were so dangerous. We had some people hauled out with their teeth knocked out by one of those things. So it wasn't as peaceful as you might expect. At least we didn't expect to see that kind of activity, the concussion grenades at least, and probably a dozen or more of those came
Yeah.
out.
I know, Larry, you were there too, right? Larry Hudson?
Yeah, I just can't get myself unmuted.
You
Yes,
are.
I was there shoulder to shoulder with Don and Dan.
All right, good. Well, good deal, good deal. Thank you guys for, and Dan, thank you for sharing that experience with us. Appreciate that.
I thought it was important for everybody to know that it didn't go down the way the media said it did.
Of course not, of course not, right. Okay. I want to get into the comms team. I was hoping that, Ken, are you on here tonight? I don't see you. I don't think I've seen you. Ken Kashuba. Okay, Ken must be tied up. All right. So anyway, I want to mention some things that we're working on with the comms team. The first item is our state newsletter. And then we wanted to touch on the media liaison position. We're looking for some people that would be interested in taking on that role for us. John Ackerman has asked to be relieved of that role. So if you know of anyone that would be interested in that role, please get a hold of Ken Kashuba to talk about that. I'm going to mention a little something here about some social media platforms, some meeting software that we're using. And I wanted to mention that on our Indiana website, which is embedded in the national website, we're posting Convention of States COS Indiana Live recordings now. So those are being posted there. I'm hoping someday that we'll be able to broadcast live through that website. But right now, that's going to be just recordings. But I wanted to mention the newsletter here, and because Susan Lyon is just doing an outstanding job on our newsletter. And I just want to continue to mention that and give a shout out to her on the job that she's doing. Now, one of the features on our newsletter is Marengo Mike's Corner. And I want to play for you the latest version of Marengo Mike's Corner, and I'm hoping that I will be able to do that. This won't be very long, so let's hope this works.
Hello and welcome to another Marengo Mike's Corner. Well, here we are, 2021. So tell me, based on the year we've been through and the prospects of 2021, don't you think that now is the time to actually become active in using our Constitution to save our Constitution? Complaining about the overreach of government won't bring power back to we the people. And thinking our government will fix itself is like, well, like thinking rinse, wash, and repeat will bring the better result. Huh. Well, by using Article 5 of the Constitution, a convention of states actually gives us the solution we need. In 2021, there are at least 7 states that have already introduced our Convention of States resolution, so there's no better time than now to become actively involved in helping us get the word out to your friends and neighbors, to actively grow a grassroots army of self-governing activists, to bring about the change we need to protect our freedoms and fix our country. So, head over to conventionofstates.com and volunteer today. Oh, and Happy New Year! Help us spread the cheer! Bye-bye now!
All right, little Marengo Mike for you there. I'm going to be featuring Marengo Mike's Corner on our COS Indiana Live broadcast, so you'll be able to catch that again on Marengo Mike. Also wanted to mention here that I said the social media platforms. You've all heard about what's going on with social media, with Facebook, Twitter, all the controversy, all the censorship, and so forth. So National is telling us that we're going to continue using these platforms that we're on now as long as we can until we get shut down. So just to let you know, we're going to continue on these platforms. There's one new one that we're looking at getting into, that's MeWe. So we'll be looking at getting an account set up there. Also Rumble, which I think is another like YouTube. So we're looking at setting up something in Rumble. As far as meetings are concerned, we're going to continue using Zoom like we are tonight. And some of you have been introduced to a new program, Jitsi, that we've been utilizing from time to time. So we'll be continuing with those 2 programs. Just wanted to mention that to you, that we're trying to work through this as best we can with regard to social media. Okay, before I bring George on, anybody got any questions about anything that I've covered so far? Questions, comments? Okay, all right. Well, let's bring George on. And I just want to mention also that we've changed some responsibilities here since we last talked. George is now covering not only training and coalitions, but he's now taking on education. We've changed some of Paul's responsibilities. George is also now taking on education. So George, are you ready to go? Where are you, George?
Sorry, I lost my cursor.
Okay. Well, George, you want to cover the new leaders that we have so far? This is not all of them, but these are the ones that were processed at the time that I did this, a day or so ago.
Well, in that tune, we currently have 36 people that are either in process or open. About a third of them are applying to be district captains directly, and the rest of them are pretty much volunteers. When we talk to volunteers, people are normally just saying, I don't know what you're offering, but I want to help and do something. Many times those people, once we explain to them what's going on and what we have to offer, they upgrade and have to reapply for district captains. That's 17 that are in process and 19 overall that are open that we have yet to contact. That's as of a few minutes ago when I tallied it up. But yeah, we do have, like Dale said, there are more district captains than are listed here. Dale has a certain amount of time that he has to prep all this, and I think it was yesterday we onboarded another 3 or 4 district captains that have volunteer. So Mark Shades, George Richardson, Jill Jones, Jill's on here, I believe. Haven't heard from her yet, but
Well, she was on here, but I don't see her on here now. She must have had some technical problems.
yeah, I scrolled through and she's on the end of our screen here. But yeah, I didn't see a microphone or camera in her little box here. So I guess she is. But Donald Lynn is here today from District 84. My days are getting kind of confused, but it was either last night or the night before we onboarded Don Lynn.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
so that's pretty good. Other people, volunteers, Christine Moffett. I got alarms going off on my phone. Christine Moffett and another in process, another 17 or so in process. Yeah. So yeah, Dale was not over exaggerating when we said that we've been humping and bumping. This has been since January 1st that we've been showing this kind of growth. So not even a month yet, and I don't think we'll have any trouble at all hitting our goal of 40 district captains.
Boy, the way it's starting off, I would agree. And we're not the only ones experiencing this, folks. There are other states. There are some other states that are experiencing even much greater numbers than what we're looking at here. So, but still, we're off to a great start here, and I think we're gonna, if it keeps up, which I fully expect that it will. It's gonna look good. We're gonna reach our goals. Okay, George, I know you're still looking for someone here in this role, right?
Yeah, Young Americans for COS. There are a couple people that are in the kitty there for this. I haven't really talked to anyone about it, but yeah, Young Americans for COS. Maya Phillips was running this before, but she's graduated high school and she's on to bigger and better things. Maya Phillips, that's Paul's daughter. She's a crackerjack, man. She's going to Tennessee University, not Tennessee, Patrick Henry College or University in Tennessee.
Right.
Doing some intern work with Convention of States on the national end. So yeah, she just didn't have a whole lot of time for Young Americans for COS, and it landed in my lap. So that'll work. And we have another coalition that has been fairly active, and that's the Veterans for Coalitions. Totally in our database, we have 3,674 veterans. Since the first of the year, we picked up another 300 veterans. So we're going to feed all those people over to Mark Goatee and have him try to bring that group together. Mark Goatee is the head of the Veterans Coalition.
Okay. All right. Good, George. Good. Thank you.
Also, I have one prospect for a co-grassroots coordinator. And that's looking real good. He's going to bring him in as a district captain and a grassroots coordinator. And I'll kind of wean him into the process as he does work in the district captain area. So that'll be nice. I'll appreciate the help.
All right. Good deal. All right. Well, Gary, you're up next, my man. Gary Harbaugh.
Thanks, Dale.
And
Thank you.
Let's start off with our Mission Excellence Tracking Report. Gary?
For those of you who are new or or even if you've been around a while. The Mission Excellence Tracking Report is kind of a way that something that helps guide district captains and region captains in activities to be involved in. And it also allows us to evaluate, who the top performers are. If you notice, there's 3 numbers there, and those fall into the categories of general and training, legislator relationships, and grassroots growth. So the general and training, if you go to the sheet, you can see what all the items are, but encourage everybody to go through the DC 100 class every year, even if you've been through it before. Points you are awarded for those, or points are allocated based on the activities that you engage in. And have some couple of pretty good performers here, as you can see, looking at the numbers. So I won't shout them out, even though they deserve it tonight. And I want to encourage everybody to go into that. You can find it linked on the Slack channel. There's a channel that has the links for the Mission Excellence Report. And if you need training, need an explanation of how it works, contact me or your region captain, whoever. Somebody will walk you through how to do that. I know a lot of you probably did not get your stuff reported, and that's okay. We can catch it up later. Everybody who's on the call tonight, you get one activity, participated or joined in the state call. You can mark that down for next month that you were on the state call. I've got a record of everybody who was on the state call in December, and I'm going to go in and get those records entered later on. But fundamentally, I look to each district captain and region captain to enter their own points or their own activities, and that'll create the points report.
Okay.
So anyway, we're off to a really good start, Dale. Pleased to see a lot of activities.
Yep.
And one of the really good things was the breakfast that Region 3 that Vicky scheduled, and they had 5 district captains there. That was a very, very good thing.
Yeah, let's take a look at that breakfast, as a matter of fact. There's, I wanted to recognize, I think I got the names, some of the names mixed up here, but I wanted to recognize Vicky for holding this breakfast. So good job, Vicky.
Thank you.
Did you pay for it?
No,
Okay.
no, but we did get another one scheduled, so we're going to do it again.
Good job. Well, we need to be, as the COVID restrictions start to ease up, we need to be doing more of these. So I'm glad to see you setting the example here. So good job. Good job.
Thank you.
Now, well, okay, I'll get the names straightened out here later on. But anyway, good job. Good job. Gary, I skipped over one here. You want to talk about our plans now on the DC recruitment Telepatriot project that we had in mind?
Yes, Dale, we are planning on having a Telepatriot team to call people who checked the volunteer box, but maybe didn't actually apply to be a volunteer or apply to be a district captain, and see if we can induce more of those people to apply. Because the pipeline is so full right now of people just organically applying to be volunteers, organically applying to be district captains. We decided not to activate this yet, but we are building a Telepatriot team of people who will make calls and try to get more district captains. One of our goals is to get to 40 for the year, and I feel pretty confident that we can get there. And if you'd like to participate in that team, you know you're going up against Mr. Telepatriot, Thomas Schultz, but you can be part of that team as well.
All right, all right. All right, Gary, our events supplies situation?
As the weather warms up and hopefully COVID restrictions ease, we will be participating in more events where we'll have information tables. And Rick Lyon wants to build a supply of things for this. There's a list of items there. Anybody that would like to buy some of those, one of those items, and just have it shipped to Rick, I think this slide will be posted on Slack later on. You can look it up if anybody would like to participate by purchasing some things. I know that Rick is working on building up a supply so that we're not in a situation where once we've got an event scheduled, we're suddenly at the last minute and figure out, oh, we need some more materials. So we want to have them on hand so that we can have a smooth setup and so forth, from scheduling to actually having the event supplies there when the event happens.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. All right. Thanks, Gary. Thank you. Anybody got any questions or comments for Gary? Okay. All right, Mr. Phillips.
Yeah, thanks, Dale.
Got a few things on your plate, huh?
A couple. So we're working on call to action for some legislation. And maybe the next slide would be best to talk about this. We've got 3 bills that we are wanting to support. And we have approval from National on the 3rd bill on that list, state of disaster emergencies. What this bill is doing is whenever the governor declares a state of disaster, he can do that for up to 30 days. And then if he wants to renew it, he has to call the legislature into session, strictly for the purpose of reviewing the emergency order and deciding whether it can continue or not. The top one, 1384, is a bill that would require civics education 1 semester, somewhere between grades 6 and 8 for all Indiana students. And then it also requires a commission is formed to determine what that curriculum is. And then finally, 1369, firearms matter, is basically a constitutional carry bill, eliminating the need for a license to carry a handgun for individuals not otherwise restricted from carrying a handgun. I'm most excited about that one because supporting this will give us a lot of credibility at gun shows. When we're recruiting people, we can talk about how we supported this legislation. And it can also help to fight the myth that our convention could possibly get rid of the Second Amendment. Would show that we're in support of that. So those top 2, we're still waiting for official approval from National to be able to use all of our resources on those bills. I was at the State House this afternoon and met with Matt Lehman, the sponsor of 1123, and he was happy to hear that we're supporting the bill. And he told me he's got an amendment coming in probably next week. He wants us to look at the amended bill before he's going to officially accept our approval, basically give us a chance to back out if we want. But it sounds like the addition to this bill will be striking the health department's ability to shut down churches during a pandemic. So that, I believe, is something we can greatly support. So that's kind of where we're at on those bills. You'll be hearing more about it as we get approvals from National, and we may be running some telepatriot campaigns for phone calls or voter voice campaign for emails and things like that to legislators. It's basically going to be driven by the sponsors of the bills, of what they ask us to do. And there may be opportunities for some of you, if you're passionate about one of these bills, to actually testify in a committee hearing. So I'll keep you all in the loop as we progress on this.
This is Dan.
Yeah.
There's another bill, House Bill 1121, which is actually much more robust than 1123 is.
Yeah.
It puts the same limitation on the governor, but it actually makes these health commissioners so they can't make any rulings on their own. They have to go to court. and get an order for it.
Right. So that bill places those restrictions on local health officials, but not the state health department. And there are around a dozen different bills on this subject of emergency orders and pandemics and things like that. So what I did was I picked the one that was the simplest bill, a step in the right direction, that had the highest probability of moving and passing. And there are going to be some amendments to it, but we can also get involved in those other bills as well in terms of testifying and things like that. I agree with you. There are some stronger bills out there that I would certainly like to see enacted. But I'm looking at this selfishly from a COS standpoint to find a bill that can engage our grassroots, that is going to pass so we can claim a victory. So that's kind of the reasoning for zeroing in on 1123. And we're actually limited by national that we're supposed to only support 2 bills a session, no more. And I'm trying to get an exception to do 3. So just some of the constraints that have led us to this bill.
Okay.
This is all part of our call to action program that are one of our objectives for this year. So thanks, Paul. Good work. And stay tuned, folks. We'll hopefully we'll get approval on all 3 of these.
Yeah, and Paul, this is Debbie Stewart. You said if you were interested in any of these bills, I'd love to pitch in on that civics education one. So let me know if you need my help with that.
All right. When it was heard in committee today at 3:30, which happened to be the time I was meeting with Matt Lehman, so I didn't get to watch the testimony on it, but it was just introduction, no vote. So when that comes before the education committee again in the House, I'll let everybody know, and you can show up and sign up to testify if you like. And then, of course, after halfway through the session, when they flip, if the bill passes, it'll be in the Senate, and we'll have the same opportunities for testimony there.
Great, thank you.
Sure.
Actually, Paul, I'll help out on that one too if you need anything.
Great.
I'd love to be able to testify as well.
Yeah, I know Melba Kaiser's on this call tonight, and I know she's very, very passionate about this issue, or education.
Yep.
So Melba, you got any comments on this? I know I saw you on here.
Yeah, actually, I just sent off an email to Representative Cook, who is the author on this bill, because he is very interested in working with us to get support on this bill. And I spoke to as you know, I started a coalition. And so I spoke to the Hamilton County Grassroots Conservatives last night, asking that they reach out to members and have them make phone calls in support of this bill. I know that the Indiana State Bar also supports this bill and actually helped Representative Cook to put it together. And I have also written to the Coalition of Tea Parties for Central Indiana, and they're going to be supporting this civics education bill also.
Okay.
So
yeah,
that's where we stand.
Paul, did you say did you meet with Representative Cook?
I did my best to try and get in with him today, but I wasn't able to. I imagine that's because he had to appear in committee.
Yeah.
But, we'll get in touch with him. That's not a problem.
But I know Melba had mentioned to me regarding this bill that there was a question as to the definition of civics.
Yeah, the bill does not define a curriculum. That's up to the commission that's formed. So that's
so the bill is to form the commission.
Correct.
Okay.
Right, and it's supposed to be a 15-member commission, but I have a copy of a Hillsdale pamphlet here from winter 2020, and they have a civics course already that they're teaching in their K through 12 schools. So I was going to propose to the authors of this bill that they might want to look at the Hillsdale College civics program.
Good deal. Good deal. Okay. All right. Thanks. Anything else, Paul?
Nope.
Anybody got any other questions or comments?
Yeah, Dale.
Yeah.
I too wrote a letter to Representative Cook. He responded actually, but we're not able to meet before today, and I was not able to take in the hearing either. But he did offer, or actually his legislative assistant offered a Zoom call to me tomorrow in the afternoon to discuss what I had put, I guess, maybe in my email. Or if anything develops on that, I'll be sure to let you know.
Just so you know, once we get final approval on these, I want to reach out and see if I can get these authors to appear on the COS Indiana Live, and give them an opportunity to talk about their legislation. So I haven't had much luck at in the past on that, but maybe this time around we'll since we are officially pledging our support on these, maybe that'll carry a little more weight.
Yeah. Hey, Larry, on your Zoom call tomorrow, I wanted to ask you to make sure to find out who Tony Cook has lined up in the Senate to support the bill. That information will help me with getting national approval.
All right, I'll certainly ask.
Thank you.
You bet.
All right. Thanks, Paul.
Sure.
Tim, I saw you on here tonight. Tim Heidenreich. Tim is one of our SIA.
Yeah, I'm on here, Dale.
You're on here. I saw you on here. Where are you?
Yeah, I'm on here.
There he is right there. Okay. Lost you there for a minute. Tim is our state prayer contact. And so, Tim, I hope I've got the items that you wanted me to put on here. I hope I've got them identified. Can you see them okay?
Yeah, that sounds fine. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Around the 25th or between the 25th and the 28th every month, a national prayer contact lady contacts me and asks me for these things from our state. And she always wants us to give just 2 or 3 because they're getting them from all the states. So if anybody has any at any time during the month, you can always just email me or just get in touch with me and I'll be glad to turn them in for you.
Okay.
I think this is a time when we need a lot of prayer in our nation. We all know God puts good kings and bad kings in place in his sovereignty. And so we need to keep praying in this case, I think.
Yep. We need a lot of prayers. A lot of prayers. So, all right. Thanks, Tim. Thank you very much. All right. Well, it's almost a wrap here. Just wanted to mention that our next state call in February will be February 24th, which is the fourth Wednesday. We always try to do it on the fourth Wednesday at 8 p.m. So the next one will be February 24th. Now, I want to go around the horn here to give everybody the individuals that haven't had a chance to make any comments or questions. This will be your opportunity if you would like to. And Leanna, do you have anything you want to say? Leanna from Indiana?
No, not really. I think I threw anything I wanted to say in the chat. So I would just agree with some other people who were like, only one semester of civics education? It should be every year. Anyway, that's all I got.
Leanne is one of our new district captains. So she's almost a veteran because she's been in district, she's been involved here a couple months now. So Phil, Waldorf, new district captain. Got anything you want to say, Phil? A comment?
I guess one question I had was the two House bills that are coming up. Do we know when those are going to be hitting the floor, so we could go down and see what's going on with that?
All of those bills haven't come out of committee yet. So they got to pass a committee vote before we figure out when they go to the floor. I will make sure to post on the Slack general channel when any of those bills are being heard in committee, and you're welcome to show up and testify or just watch online, either way, but we'll keep you posted.
Great.
Okay, thanks, Phil. All right, who else we got here? Debbie, you got anything else you want to say this evening?
Nope, I'm good. Thank you, though.
Debbie Stewart, folks, this is our constitutional literacy lady. And so thanks for coming on tonight, Debbie. Thank you.
Good to be here.
Donald, you got anything else you want to comment on tonight? You're muted. You're still muted, Don.
I think I mentioned about everything. I really appreciated the time I had with Larry and Dan, though. That was very, very interesting.
Now, Don, you know, you kind of be careful with Larry. Now, Larry can kind of steer you the wrong way. You know, you just you just kind of take. You know, I'm just kidding you. I'm just kidding.
He's such a troublemaker.
No, you were in good company, Donald. You were in good company.
Yeah, well, they converted me for sure.
They
converted me.
All righty.
Conversion experience is what it was.
Conversion experience. All right. Jerry Rowe, my man Jerry, got anything you want to say?
Yeah, not too much. I've been helping George out with a few naughty problems, and I'll have to say on the national scene, they're so busy just putting out fires as far as what social media is doing that they aren't getting much else done, I don't think.
Yeah.
You know, trying to keep us alive on Facebook and Twitter and whatnot.
All right. Thanks, Jerry. Thanks for coming on tonight. Mr. Paraguay. Unmute yourself, Ed. There you
go. Not too much to say tonight, Dale. Good to see everyone here. It's nice to know that about 20 of us make it every month. See you again next month or on the road if there's something going on. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Ed. Gary Spielman, anything you want to say, bud?
Oh, not a whole lot. Just I'm trying to absorb as much as I can. I really, you know, we talked at our breakfast this past weekend. You know, I took that Rick Green constitutional class, like 12, well, it's 2 6-week programs in a row. And I'm taking this a biblical citizenship class now on Monday nights. And extremely educational, really good stuff. I would highly recommend it to anybody. Mark Meckler is on there every Monday night with Rick Green. And it's a great class. I highly recommend it for anybody.
Okay, good. All right. Thanks, Gary. Vicki Fisher.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Well, hey guys, this is a great meeting and I'm glad to be here. And I need to know, did you all watch Newsmax last night and see Convention of States on Chris Salcido, the Liberty Loving Latinos segment?
Oh, really? Really? Good deal.
It was a great presentation about what we are, and it fit really well into his broadcast. It was a wonderful broadcast, the whole thing. It's an hour long, but Convention of States is about, I don't know, 10 minutes in.
Oh,
so
okay.
I suggest everybody watch that. Gives you a really good background on stuff. And I just want to ask Phil if, you know, this year's going to be really hopping with state legislatures making bills. And so do you think state would, or national would, increase that limit just for this year from 3 to whatever we think is reasonable?
I'm not sure about that. I think 3 is a stretch, because what we have to think about is how many times we're telling our grassroots to call a legislator about this or that. And there's definitely some diminishing returns if we're doing that too much. So I'm going to count us lucky if we're able to get 3 approved.
Vicki,
Okay.
Paul and I were on a call the other night with some state directors, and there was one state director that had requested 5 be approved.
Right.
So I guess they've got to set some limits at some point, so.
Right. Well, we're just gonna, it was just a suggestion because they're gonna hopefully have lots more stuff in the pipeline that,
Right,
would be things we would want to do.
right.
And the only other question I have is for Gary. If we want to volunteer for the Telepatriot to contact people that want to be DCs, how do we sign up?
I just signed you up.
I think you just signed up, Vicki.
Thank you.
Okay.
That was fast, wasn't it?
That was wonderful. What service?
Yeah. All right. Thanks, Vicki.
Thank you.
Richard Loken. Unmute yourself. Say a few words if you want. Richard, are you there? Well, Richard, I don't see him coming on here. Okay. All right. Okay. Did I miss anybody? Anybody else have anything they wanted to say or ask or comment?
If I can real quick, Dale, Senate Bill 74, which actually prevents employers from denying employment or prospective employment on the basis of the taking of a vaccine, apparently was seen in committee. Senator Cruz actually is the author of the bill, but Senator Boots has already said he's not going to let it be voted on. The group called Standing for Health Freedom has, I just found out about this group. I'm going to be trying to do some work with them, but anybody here who's interested in making sure that we protect the kind of financial coercion on vaccines, I would encourage them to call Senator Boots and demand that he actually let that come to a vote in the committee.
Okay. All right, Dan. Thank you. Thank you, Dan.
Dale,
Yep.
following up on what Vicki mentioned, I look at or listen to and view Mark Levin every Sunday. And likewise, he too plugged Convention of States strongly at the end of his program. I highly recommend that Sunday evening broadcast for anybody.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that. I watched, I record that, and I was watching that last night, as a matter of fact. And of course, Mark Levin has been a long time supporter of Convention of States. And yes, he gave us another great plug on his program. So very, very good program. Very good program.
Mark Metzler was on the Glenn Beck show also earlier this week.
Oh, was he? Oh, was
Yeah.
he? Okay.
Yeah, he had about a 10-15 minute spiel on there.
All right. Well, good. Well, we're getting more attention now, and I think it's going to even grow further. So, all right. Well, that's a wrap for tonight. Unless anybody's got anything else they want to say, I think we're a few minutes beyond what we normally try to keep this at. But guys, we're guys, ladies and gentlemen, we are we're just getting started, and I think this is going to be a booming year for Convention of States. I'm not so sure it's going to be a booming year for the country, but we're gonna I think see a drastic amount of growth, and I think we're going to get quite a few more states on board. So strap in, folks. I think we're in for a big ride this year, and I want to thank you all thank you all for the job that you're doing so far, and stick with us. We're all going to have to step up, and it's time for us to step up and get involved. So we the people, remember, it's we the people. So with that, I'm going to say good night to everyone. See you next, well, I'll see you, I'm sure, before then, but next call will be February 24th. So good night, everyone. Have a good evening.
Night. Take care. Be safe.
Yep.